Hello everybody, this is a Yohnee Moode message. Thank you for joining me once again, and we're going to get right into it. This message is entitled Understanding the Fruit of the Spirit. Understanding the Fruit of the Spirit. All right? Number one, the fruit of the Spirit are products of the Holy Spirit. They're called fruit because they are a natural result of the Holy Spirit's planting and work in our hearts. Okay? That's where fruit comes from. You plant a fruit seed and you get a harvest of the kind of fruit seed that you planted. Okay? So the fruit of the Spirit are a part of the Holy Spirit's planting and work in our hearts. We get fruit that looks like, okay, the Holy Spirit controls it. All right? All right, number two, there are 9 fruit of the Spirit. You can find these in Galatians 5:22 and 23. They are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. All right, there are 9 of them. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Awesome. All right, number 3, the presence of the fruit is evidence that we're becoming more like Christ. Hey, come on now. That is so key. The presence of the fruit is evidence that we are becoming more like Christ. That is how you know, by the fruit. Okay, let me give you some references. John 15:5, Matthew 7:16 through 20, Matthew 11:12 through 25. Okay, again, the presence of the fruit is evidence that we're becoming more like Christ. That is our goal, to become more like Christ. But guess what? The opposite of true. The opposite is also true. Okay? What does that mean? The lack of fruit is evidence that we are not becoming more like Christ. Okay? There's always seeds being planted. And the plants, the seeds that get watered and nurtured are the seeds that will grow to produce fruit, whether it's fruit of the Spirit or if it's fruit of the flesh or whatever it is, whatever that seed is. So if you sow to the flesh seeds that are fleshly, then you're going to actually grow fruit that is fleshly. Okay? You'll also get more information about that in Galatians 5 verses 16 through 21, which leads us to the 4th point, is that a lack of fruit has consequences just as having fruit does. All right, that's exactly what I was just talking about. A lack of fruit has consequences just like having fruit does. Again, if you have fruit from the Spirit, then it's because the Holy Spirit has planted seeds in you that you are nurturing and watering and growing. And the evidence of that is the fruit that we see. You're becoming more like Christ. But again, if you're sowing seeds to the flesh, seeds of the flesh, then you're nurturing and you're watering those, and you're nurturing and watering those, then you're going to reap fruit that looks like those seeds of flesh that you were sowing. Okay? And then, all right, and then finally, number 5, God has specifically and intentionally called us to bear fruit that remains. Again, God has specifically and intentionally called us to bear fruit that remains. One more time for the people in the back. God has specifically and intentionally called us to bear fruit that remains. Not fruit that dies, but fruit that remains. The references here are John 15 verse 16 and John 12 verses 23 through 24. I mean, it's that simple. God has specifically and intentionally called us. He said, this is what I want you to do. This is what pleases me. I want you to bear fruit, and I want it to remain. I want it to be solid. I want it to be hearty fruit that will last. Okay? All right. Again, this is a part of the Understanding series. The Understanding series is just a quick synopsis that gives you a snapshot of what biblical concepts, popular and often difficult to navigate biblical concepts are. It's not meant to be an in-depth study or analysis of the things that are a part of the series. It's only supposed to be, it's not meant to be an in-depth analysis of these concepts, just a quick snapshot that anybody can understand, whether they're a beginner in the Bible or whether they're seasoned in the Bible. For in-depth studies, you can check out my Bible studies. I actually have Bible studies and books that you can get a hold of if you want to do a deeper, more extensive study. Those things can be found on my website. You'll find it in the description below, www.yohneemoode.com. And that's it. We're done here. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'd be happy to interact with you, answer your questions, chop it up. All right. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe below. Click the bell for notifications to let you know what's coming next. And until the next time, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.